The Americans with Disabilities Act prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability and guarantees disabled Americans equal access to jobs, housing, transportation, education, public services, and telecommunications. For businesses and educational institutions around the country, the ADA was a game changer that required the implementation of unprecedented measures intended to provide equal access for people with disabilities.
With today's signing of the landmark Americans for Disabilities Act, every man, woman, and child with a disability can now pass through once closed doors.
For Penn State, it was a reminder that reinforced the university's existing and ongoing commitment to ensure that all the appropriate resources are in place and working together to making our campuses inclusive and accessible.
I grew up learning that if you've got a special need, quote unquote, you figure out how to make it work. And you throw personal money at the situation to fix it. And you basically just have a lot of grit and make it happen. The ADA was passed in 1990, and at that time, I was a sophomore in high school. At the time it was passed, I felt no special kinship to it. I didn't think of myself as a person with a disability, but I know as a deaf person and in the classroom environment, there was stuff that I missed. I got to Penn State in 2001 as a graduate student, and jumping up to a big school, to grad school with classes of 30 people, sometimes 40 people, and it being heavily discussion-based, I couldn't follow anything. So that's when I started looking into captioning. And Penn State Office of Disability Services was able to guide me through what accommodations were possible, what accommodations I didn't have to pay for, which was a completely novel concept to me, because I had grown up thinking that any help I needed to pay for. So I have grown into a relationship with the ADA that has gone from complete non-awareness, complete, how does this affect me at all, to having a very intimate relationship with the law. I'm eternally grateful for its existence.
I'm Francis Ashampong, and I'm the chancellor here at Penn State Mont Alto. I was born in the Gold Coast. Later on, it became Ghana. And when I was 3, I contracted polio. So I've lived with polio all my life. I've been with the university for 13 years in different capacities. And so I ended up at Fayette for about 3.5 years. The chancellor at Fayette has an office that is an old farmhouse that has been renovated. It's a very beautiful space. It's called the University House. But there were aspects of it that were not, accessible. And so the Affirmative Action Office came and renovated the space to make it accessible, not just for me, but also for people who might be in a wheelchair. The Yellow Ribbon Program. Penn State Mont Alto sits on a hill, and it is a very difficult campus to navigate for folks with disabilities. So I have a golf cart. It's been extremely helpful. I take legislators around on it. When we invite people to campus, I ride them around in it. It's made my work a whole lot easier in terms of getting around. Penn State is just committed to all of its constituents, whether they are students, whether they're faculty, whether they're staff.
I came here in fall 2009, no clue about anything whatsoever, and kind of went through my first 2 years and just like any other student. And I was diagnosed with ADD, a cognitive processing disability that affects into a reading disability. So basically that means I don't pay attention well, obviously. And then the cognitive processing just means it takes me a lot longer to get information into my memory. My accommodations include time and a half for exams. I also get a LiveScribe pen for note-taking help. It's a special pen that has special digital paper that records what I write down for my notes with the audio the teacher's saying.
So light has only been able to traverse these little patches.
I also get my textbooks scanned and I can have my textbooks read aloud. Before I had the accommodations, it was kind of panic, rushing, always just go, 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 and I didn't really pick up a lot of information. But now with the accommodations, I've just jumped in my grades and my GPA, and it's phenomenal. It's really changed my personality when it comes to being in the classroom.
Every day, we strive to make life better for our faculty, staff, and students. While the ADA provides a valuable framework, the true guidelines are derived from the individuals that make up our campus community.
I serve on the University Access Committee, and that committee is committed to making all infrastructure in the university accessible. So it's not just buildings, it's even walkways and sidewalks, putting curb cuts into a sidewalk so that somebody in a wheelchair can gain access.
The Office of Disability Services has offered, they give me an advocate who I can go see and say, hey, I'm struggling with this class, what do I do? And they just kind of are a resource that's really, really approachable and friendly.
The ADA is what has allowed my job that I have now to actually exist. And the ADA is what has enabled me to give back to the community as a disabled person for disabled people. We've got the ADA on our side, and we've got institutional commitment, and it may take a while to come up with a solution, but it will happen.
The ADA did more than change architectural codes. It changed attitudes. The law reminds us that those with disabilities are a valuable part of the diverse population that helps our university thrive. There have been both victories and setbacks, and we've learned many lessons along the way. Simply having a law that requires making Penn State accessible would ring hollow without the university community's dedication and commitment to continue to build on our achievements. As we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the ADA, we are, as we have always been, committed to providing a welcoming, encouraging, and empowering environment for people with disabilities.